Hello everyone, this is Minjong. Welcome to today's market analysis for the S&P 500 E-minis futures. That's for the session of 10th of June. In this video, I am going to walk you through the market recap on the last session, plus 3 trade reviews in the M3 timeframe, which I will cover the entry, exits, and the rationale behind. And going forward, I will cover the bias, the key levels to pay attention to, and also the potential setup for the session later. So let's just get started. As you can see in this daily chart for the S&P 500, yesterday was a reaction day, and the spread was relatively narrow, and I think it's an inside day if you compare it the spread of the previous day. So it's really tight range. And if you look at the volume, in fact, it is even higher than the previous day. So what's going on? Let me get down to H1 time frame, so I think you can have a better view and also clearer as well. So during the London session at around 2 o'clock my time in the afternoon here, we have seen the reaction started off the peak here, 3230. So it had actually had a test at a swing high and followed by a sharp reaction in the London session and tested the previous day low. You can see that I still haven't removed my markup from yesterday. So that is the previous day high, day low, and non-RTH high and low as well. You can see that just right after the test or the spring of the previous day low, it just consolidate somewhere around there, and at the US opening, it just attempts to rally up, but you can see some rejection here with the rejection tail, and the next candle was a bullish candle, and subsequently you can see it's just move up nicely, although there is a reaction along the way, and actually in the last 2 hours as well. So if you look closer in this H1 time frame, you can see the zigzag or the wave pattern here. So we have a up wave here, followed by a down wave, another up wave, down wave, up wave, down wave. So if you look closer, the down wave actually comes with a relatively high volume. So there's a first down wave and the second down wave, and even the third down wave, both accompanied with a high supply. But I think the bullish signs was this is actually a higher low throughout. So you can see that the low is here, followed by this low. So it's actually a higher low. And even with the third reaction, we're still able to maintain the higher low as well. So these 3 higher lows with increasing effort to push down, but was a result, eventually we just see higher low in these 3 reaction. So that suggests that demand was in and also absorbs some supply along the way. That's why we see the higher low in this formation, in this wave. But if you look at this structure, basically we are still stuck within this trading range from 3230 to the low level around 3190. But you can take this 3180 to count it all together as well. So what I actually anticipate was going forward, I think it will probably take some time to resolve itself out from this trading range, because despite the supply absorption we had seen from yesterday's session, we still need to see commitment above the resistance level, which is 3230. And from that, then we can only conclude it will just keep moving up and test the higher target at 3300 or 3310. So far we haven't seen the commitment to the upside despite some kind of the supply absorption, which is a very constructive signs for bullish bias. And let me get down to M3 timeframe for 3 trade reviews. I think this is so far is quite a lot of the trades that I've done in just one day. In fact, it's very short session. So the first trade was initiated during the European session, London session, at around 2 o'clock my time here. You can see that prior to the short entry, we typically just form a range here, and we have a last push to test swing high at 3230 here. So you can see the volume picking up and followed by a reversal bar here, and also with the high level of the supply. So this is where I enter the short entry with a stop loss just slightly above the swing high level here, because it just shows there's a rejection of the top here, which was the swing high level. So this trade works out quite nicely. I think the first target I took profit was at this level. That's the swing low. I just took partial of my profit, about 50%, and exit my positions. And subsequently, I just trail the rest of the positions to, I think, here. Okay, yeah, this is around 3210. So if you recall in my previous video, I did talk about the resistance level, because this is quite a strong resistance zone, and I just took the rest of my profits at this level 3210, and this is coincide with the swing high level as well. So that's for the short trade to the downside. And the other trade that I had, if you recall my video yesterday, I did talk about potential long entry after a test or a bounce up from the day low here. So that is the day low that I mark up, and that's the day high. We can see that this strong downtrend actually just hit this day low, and subsequently we have a bounce up here. So I just enter my long trade at this bar here, at the close of this bar, and this is a reversal bar, and on top of that, this is a change of character bar, because it is the largest bar that we have ever seen throughout this downtrend, from here all the way down to the bottom. So this is the biggest spread bullish bar that we've ever seen. So that, I think, blends in very well into the reversal strategy. And also it actually tested this day low, and followed by a commitment to above the day low. And if you look at the volume, let me zoom in a bit. Okay, so the volume here is actually quite nice. I think it's the highest apart from this bar here, but just look at this volume and also this bar. So although we have a relatively high volume, but what's the result here? See that this little bar here. So it doesn't really in sync together with the volume signature. So this bar is really different. That's why it's a change of character bar. Together is a reversal bar as well. Therefore, I initiated a long entry, and at that time, I just anticipate that it can just move up, at least going to test some kind of the level like 3217, because this the some kind of the resistance, or even you can just bounce it up to test the high as well. But look at what happened. So this is how it actually went. I just exit partial of my trades or positions at the top here, because this is where this supply zone initiated, or I call it a commitment bar here. So this two bar actually forms a commitment to the downside, and I just exited somewhere around there to lock in some profit. Despite it's not much, I think that's around slightly less than 1.9 reward to risk, and together I think it coincides with the 3200 levels as well. So just subsequently it just bounced from the top to the bottom here, have a test, and eventually have a upthrust. But I just left about 50% of my positions until the US Open. I think I forget what's the time. There was a comment regarding the bias of this reversal trade. So at that time, I think my answer was my bias was still bullish. I think because I talk about the decreasing of the volume or the decreasing of the supply levels, because you can see that this is the bottom followed by a automatic rally, and then we have a test here. It didn't actually penetrate through the low here, which is a good sign. And just look at how the price move. It's kind of like grinding down without real impulsive action. And also the supply level is generally decreasing and is very low. And subsequently, you can see that is consolidated at a higher level before the breakout, but the breakout didn't really sustain. And eventually it just pull back and go back to have a test. But overall, the supply level is not that threatening. That's why I just keep my 50% or the rest of the positions until US Open. But I just anticipate that it could have some more upside if I didn't get stopped out, because my stop was just slightly below this low here. And at the US Open session, you can see that initially it's a volume spike and followed by a demand bar, but subsequently we have another reaction here. And this reaction definitely comes with majority of the volume, because that's during the first half hour. But what's the result? Just look at the result. Despite that significant movement all the way from 32 or 3204 to around 3190, it just didn't manage to close below or commit below the prior low. And given with the great amount of the volume, because it's the first half an hour, quite a lot of the volume just transact there as well. So this is quite a good sign. And I think if you look closer at this bar, although we have a high level of supply and followed by next bar rejection and then another rejection and followed by this kind of like indecision bar, and we have a test with a slightly lower volume, and eventually we have a bullish commitment bar. So it just closed above again at this there's a prior day low as well. So this day low level acted very nicely as a support level and has been tested several times. So at this time, I just enter another trade as well. So I just initiated a long entry after the close of this bullish bar. And together with about half of my positions there, then I can just wait and see. And if you look closer, this is a downtrend followed by a range. And this is quite a nice structure. And it could well be a phase C type of the structure. So if this is a phase C, then definitely I will want to see a sign of strength rally, which it did follow. So this is the sign of strength rally. You can see from the bottom and all the way breakout to the top, and followed by a deeper pullback here. But I just trail my positions and eventually get stopped out here because I just protect my profit, and this reaction or this pullback just trigger the stops for all my positions. So that's all the 3 trade reviews. But if you just scroll up a bit, okay, we can look at what's happened after that. You can see that this structure actually act very nicely after the sign of strength rally and followed by a backing up action. And eventually we have seen the reversal bar forming here, and subsequently it just keep trending higher. But eventually we did see a sell off in the last hour. So this structure actually plays out nicely, and That's all for the 3 trade reviews that I initiated in the London session and also the US session. All right, let me get down to H1 and talk about what's happening now. So far, I think we still stuck within the trading range that I talked about. That's from 3180 to around 3230. Despite we have seen supply absorption happen yesterday, we still need to see the commitment to the upside, which is something like that. So I actually anticipate maybe to spend some time within the trading range and eventually to break out and to resolve higher. So what I would like to see is to have a supply absorption further with decreasing volume. And eventually I would like to see a breakout to the upside. But if this level cannot hold, then I think we'll easy to see a deeper pullback to test the breakout bar around 3135 to maybe 3160, 70, somewhere around this bar. So the bullish scenario will only valid as long as the level can provide some support. So immediately, I think the bias for day trading still is stuck within the range. So it's neutral for me. Either trade it up or down is fine. But for swing trading, definitely is up because I think we have a higher target, somewhere around 3,300. And eventually, if we can just break above, then definitely I think we can see all-time high. And for the potential setup, or maybe I talk about the key level first. Definitely for resistance level was the swing high level at 3230, the immediate resistance, and followed by 3210. Overall, I think we are just right within the resistance zone at 3210. You can just lump it up because if you look at the daily, this is the axis line. So we are just bumping to the resistance area and started to consolidate just within this resistance area. So what we need to see is to actually see the S&P 500 to resolve itself out from this resistance area, either break up, break down, and eventually to resolve from the high level of the supply as well. So for immediate support level, definitely is the 3190, the day low here, or the swing low here, 3190, followed by this 3180. And eventually, if we see deeper pullback, then definitely is somewhere around 3135. So that's possible as well. And I think 3135 just also is a up channel demand line here, which I draw it up somewhere around here. So this is the demand line here. All right, I think that's pretty much it. And that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it and get something out from my video. If you like it, just click like and also hover to my name or picture to follow me. And do remember to subscribe to my channel so that you get instant notification for my future videos. As usual, if you have any kind of comments, ideas you would like to share with me or suggestion, then definitely comment below and I will definitely reply to you. And thanks for watching. I will